Don't know why.
You're the first people I know that have an online mechitza. My goodness.
Wait, what doesn't work, Donna?
If we're on our iPads,
Right.
the two of us can't be in the same room.
In the same Zoom room?
Yeah. For some reason it won't
Because
work.
there's an echo.
Yes, that's it.
So I think if you turn off the audio on one of them, that might do it, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I can't.
It doesn't like the audio from both. It'll take a picture from like the visual from both.
Well,
hi, Faith.
Yeah, there's some people that
Long time no see, Faith.
Oh,
I haven't seen you since yesterday, right?
Shalom, Faith.
And how come it says Rita and Dave and I see Rita? Hi, Rita, but where's Dave?
He's away tonight. This
evening. What a night.
Yeah. He'll have to look on the live stream later when he gets home.
Yes. Well, tell him he should have been here.
Yes, I'm sure he wishes he was rather than doing what he's doing, but that's okay.
Some people seem to be coming on and getting knocked off, which seems to be par for the course, but we'll hope they'll try again. Right. And it's 6:31, so I think we'll begin in just a moment. We'll wait for just another minute. And
Siri, are you putting the pages of the Siddur on this? Are you screen sharing with us, or do you want us to have our own Siddur?
No, this is a one-stop shop. I've got everything.
It's a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Okay, surprise.
All right.
Oh, we got Leah and Albert.
Hi, Judy Miller.
All right, so I think we're going to get started, and we'll letting people in as they come in. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
I've been waiting to say that for a long time, just looking at all of you. This is okay. And actually,
big hug, everybody! Big hug, group hug, group hug.
Yeah.
Group hug. Okay, that's it. We got to give a group hug.
So a little bit of housekeeping. Here's what I'm going to ask of you. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to go into breakout rooms, probably just for 3 or 4 minutes. I think that'll be enough, just so that everybody can say Shabbat Shalom, catch up with each other. When you come back to the main room here, I'm going to ask that you mute yourself and stay muted unless I ask you to read or unless you're going to be making a comment in the discussion. And then that way we'll just avoid any unnecessary background noise. If not, we have Joel hovering in the corner who will mute you forcibly. All right, so yes. So we hope that won't be necessary. So let's go into our breakout rooms for a few minutes. Joel, if you'll assign us randomly, and then we'll come back. Okay, here we go. So please don't whatever shows up.
Shabbat Shalom, Adam. If you're wondering where everybody is, we just opened up some breakout rooms for people to have a couple of minutes to say Shabbat Shalom to one another and catch up a little bit. So everyone will be back in the main meeting in a couple of minutes. Okay.
Guess who did a stupid on that one? Hi, Adam. Which Adam are you? Well, we don't know. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's Adam Amar. I'll put my last name.
Oh, Adam, wonderful. It's great to have you here. That's great.
It's my pleasure.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Yeah,
Good.
Everything's going well. How are you?
Actually quite well. Thank you.
That's
There
good.
we are.
All right. Good. So, Joel, I guess if you can call everybody back, we'll.
I've let them know they've got about 20 seconds to.
All right.
They'll all come back.
Okay. Oh, Barry, there you are. I can see a corner of your face. Okay, good. Good. Just waiting for everybody else. Oh, here they all come. Okay.
And 18 right now, Rabbi, on the live stream.
Okay. All right. As you're muted, please join me in singing. Yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la. Yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la. La la la, ay la la la, ay la la la, ay la la la, ay la 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 la, ay la 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 la, la 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 la, ay la 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 la, ay 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 la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom. Before we continue with our service, there's a couple of people I want to thank. First of all, I want to thank Rabbi Pollack for extending this opportunity to me and allowing us to do something a little bit different. And I want to also give a very big thank you to our technical wizard, Joel Brown, without whom none of this would be possible, and who does it with such aplomb and even a smile on his face, I think. Yes, indeed. Okay. So for the service tonight, I'm going to share my screen so that you don't have to have host disabled participant screen sharing. Oh, he's so mean. That's probably because I bowed out and then came in again, right? Okay, so let's try it again. Nope, not yet. Now okay, Joel?
You're okay now, Rabbi.
Yes, indeed. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to make this larger so that you can see it. Okay, so our Shabbat service this evening will all be in front of you, and I'm going to feature, since today is actually the day of Yom HaAtzmaut, the 5th of Iyar, it was actually moved back to Thursday in Israel because they don't celebrate it on Shabbat, but we can actually celebrate the real day now. So almost all of the poetry that you're going to be taking a look at this evening and that we'll be reading are from Israeli poets. All right, and the first one that's coming up right now is from the very famous poet, the late poet Zelda. She was a devout Orthodox woman. She taught Amos Oz for a while. And through her poetry, she found the way to allow her soul to soar. So this is going to introduce the lighting of the Shabbat candles. Linda Page Alexander, I'll ask you to read that for us, please, and then we'll move on to the blessing itself.
The silver candlesticks, glimmers of heritage, transformed my room into an ancient castle, a heavenly palace suspended between the stars. Their vibrant flames kissed my soul. My thoughts became a river of rose-colored bolts. And I am a burning being, free, rejoicing in God, casting off the rags of custom, and my heart opening wide again like a white foaming torrent. Now I just have to turn my screen. Can you see the candles?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Okay. Oops, better light them. Can you hang on 1 minute? I think I need to get another candle. Hang on.
Okay, all right.
Wait a sec. Let's try something else.
Yeah, let's do it that way.
Does that look like it's going to hold? Okay.
And we can all sing with you even though we're mute.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Okay, there we go. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Please mute yourself. Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi and of course, this evening we'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Some things don't change. Sha'amor v'zachor v'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'tiba, lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'melcha, ki hi makor ha'beracha, me'rosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tefila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Hitoreri, kiva orech kuli ori, uri shir daveri, kevod alayich nitla. Shabbat nikavela, Echadodi nikrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikavela. Oihi b'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, Tohok emunei amsedula, Ovi kala, Ovi kala. L'chadodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekavela, L'chadodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekavela. Ohi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, Tohok emunei amsedula, Boi kala, Boi kala. I won't ask you to stand or sit. You can each do that as you choose, and I think you know when it would be appropriate. Now, this next poem that I've put up on the screen is the one exception that is not from an Israeli author, but I think it's such a beautiful opening to the service. I just had to include it. Adam Amar, would you be able to open your microphone and read it for us, please? Adam?
Sorry, I cut out there for a second.
No,
This
that's
poem?
okay. So if you wouldn't mind, please reading this poem.
You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond my self-made boundaries, lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, Eternal Teacher, encourage my seeking, as I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so that I shall be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving.
And as we open the door to our souls, we join in the Baruch Hu. Lai, la, la, lai, 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 la, la, lai, 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 la, 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 lai, lai, la, la, lai, 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 la, lai, 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 la, 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 lai, lai, lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamivorach, Baruch Adonai, Hamivorach, Hamivorach, Leolam Vaed. Hamivorach, Hamivorach, Leolam Vaed. And now we have a poem by an Israeli poet, Sivan Har Shefi, who is also an Orthodox Jew. And through her poetry, she manages to achieve this wonderful, intimate relationship with God, which I hope will also come to us as well. Emma Weisenbluth, would you please read it for us?
On Sabbath Eve, down to the world floated a kerchief of snow, so very beautiful, and I grasped one end, and God grasped the other, and both of us danced with the shuddering of closeness at distance, with the dizziness of the joy of our sudden love.
And the Shema speaks about the love of God, and so we sing it together now. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vahed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vahed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Now for the Ve'ahavta, if you wish, please open your mic so that you can sing with us. It might be a little cacophonous, but the advantage is we get to hear all of us joining together in prayer.
Adonai Elohim, Asher Hossein,
Adonai
Eretz Mitzrayim, Lahem Elohim, Adonai Elohim,
Eretz Mitzrayim, Yod Lahem
Elohim,
Adonai Elohim.
So that's a part of the technology that Zoom is going to have to learn to fix.
Oh, I'm telling you, I think it was still a joyful noise. So,
it was just like being in the.
What happened?
Move on to the next part of our CD. We're celebrating Shabbat, and this is a song that was written by Israel Finkelstein. Or Meir Finkelstein. Sorry, that's his name, and it's been a long time. But if you remember, sing it with me. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, mute yourself, la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam oti le'olam v'shameru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam ki sheshet yamim ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shameru v'nei Yisrael et hashabbat la'asot et hashabbat ledorotam berit לעולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Now we move to the preparation for the Amidah, but before we do, there's a poem by another Israeli poet, Yehuda Amichai. And Albert, if you're still online there, could I ask you please to read this poem?
Okay. The solitary prayer also needs two. Always one who moves and the other who doesn't move. That one is God. But when my father prayed, he stood in his place, upright and unmoving. He forced God.
Whoops.
I lost it.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There you are. Sorry.
He forced God to move.
Yeah. He forced God to move like a reed and pray to my father.
Apparently, he also forced the screens to move ahead. But now we'll join together for the Amidah. Adonai sefataticha ufia gitehilatecha. If you wish to unmute and join in with me, please do. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol Ha'Hanora Elyon Gomel Hatovim Ve'konei Hakol Ve'zoker She'avot Bimot U'mevei Gula B'neihem Leman Shalom Melech Moshiach Magen Baruch atah Adonai Melech Zera Atah Leolam Adonai Mekayim Atah Rav Mekayim Kesed Mekayim Somei Nolim Rofei Holim Umatira Kavrim Umkayim Atol Lishenei Avar Michabad Gvuro Umidom Elak Melech Mimichukaye Umatzliah Yeshua Nemanata Lakayot Takol Kata Adonai Mekaye Hakol Atakadosh Akadosh Ukadoshim Kol Yom Hayal Salah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Well, once again, some joyful noise, but now please mute yourselves again. And we now have another poem by the Israeli poet Yehuda Amichai. For those who joined in late, since this is actually the date of Yom HaAtzmaut, we're featuring Israeli poets this evening. And Faith Ellen, would you please open your microphone and lead us in Wild Peace?
Not that of a ceasefire, let alone the vision of the wolf and the lamb, but rather, as in the heart after a surge of emotion, to speak only about a great weariness. I know how to kill. That's why I'm an adult. And my son plays with a toy gun that knows how to open and close its eyes and say, Mama. A peace without the big noise of beating swords into plowshares, without words, without the heavy thud of the rubber stamp. I want it gentle over us, like lazy white foam, a little rest for the wounds. I want it to come like wildflowers, suddenly, because the field needs it. Wild peace.
Thank you, Faith. And so now we pray for shalom. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al Yisrael. 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 So I want to have a little bit of a discussion during this session. But first, it's time for our prayer for Refuah Shlema, a prayer for healing. There are names on the screen for whom we pray. And if any of you have names that you would wish to add to this list, please open your microphone and speak the name aloud.
Sheldon Darris.
Murray Weisbart,
Jerry Willis.
Rochelle Tucker,
Misha Be'erach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu yivarech v'yirapeh et kol cholei Yisrael Hakadosh Baruch Hu yimaleu rachamim alehem Tihyah shchina shruya alehem V'tishalach lehem b'meheira refuah shlema refuat hanefesh urefuat haguf v'nomar amen.
Amen.
May the one who blessed the patriarchs and matriarchs of our people also bless and heal all those who require healing, and for those who need it, the final gentle kiss of peace. May the Holy Blessed One treat them with compassion. May the Shekhinah rest upon them so that they may be restored to wholeness, both in body and in soul. And let us all say,
Amen.
So for Yom HaAtzmaut, I thought it would be interesting to introduce you to a contest that was done in 2018. And it was opened up to a lot of Israeli artists. And the title, as you can see there, is Israel in 2048. How do Israelis see the future? And they were asked to create a poster expressing their points of view. So I'm going to show you a few, and then I'll ask you maybe to express your opinion on which one you like the most. Here we go. Here's the first one. You can see that it's called Celebrating 100 Years of Equality. And of course, it's a box of tefillin. Do any of you notice something interesting about this tefillin that you normally wouldn't see?
It has the pride colors on it.
That's right. Okay, it's got the pride colors of the rainbow. And so when this artist is talking about equality, it's talking about men and women, LGBTQ, S+, and all other kinds of equality, religious, secular, all the way through the Israeli populace. So that's the theme of this particular poster. Now we go to the next one. You can see here it says Kan Garim Bekef. Here we live. I think it's translated in happiness. You see at the bottom. Here we live happily. Bekef literally means in fun, and you can see that it's a sealed can. And here's what this artist has to say: 8 roommates in 3 rooms, no air conditioning, no parking, no balcony, no elevator, looking for another roommate due to an increase in rent, 6,000 shekels, not including taxes. I think you get the general idea of what this artist is talking about, just a very, very high cost of living in Israeli cities. So that's that particular. Anybody want to add anything to that one?
Sardines, living like sardines.
Very good. Crowded like sardines. Yeah, I think you get that impression. The next one is Chogigim Mea Shnot Milchama, celebrating 100 years of war. And so you have a soldier in uniform. The ribbons are on the pocket. You can see the beret on top, but it still is war. And celebrating it may be a rather dubious word, but I think this artist kind of eloquently delivers their message of what they hope will come, and maybe it will in the next poster. Here, we are not there yet, but still have hope. And what the artist has done is he or she has taken a photograph of the intersection of Shalom Aleichem Street and Ben Yehuda Street. And then over it, they've placed a dove with an olive branch in its mouth. And you notice that the dove is kind of making a deposit over the word shalom. So those are the four slides or four posters that I wanted to show you. There were actually dozens and dozens of them. But do any of you maybe want, I'm going to go back over them. And if any of you want to express an opinion over which one you like the best or why. Any comments?
Are the non-Solel folks allowed to comment?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to welcome Miriam and Jeff Perlin, very good friends and also members of Temple Sinai, who
Hi,
are
Miriam. Hi, Jeff.
who are delightfully joining us this evening. So Miriam,
Welcome.
We broke into the Zoom. Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, pleasure.
So the only promising one is the one of equality at the beginning for me.
Like you like this one?
Well, there's a sense of equality, welcoming equality, as opposed to the others, which are dismal.
Yeah, the others are either dismal or discouraging or cynical, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the one with the dove, even with the dove making the deposit.
Because
the
you
light
have
is
a weird
shining. I thought
sense-
it was a bit of a maybe tongue in cheek. I don't know. I thought there was possible hope in that one.
Yeah.
I like it too. I like it too.
Yeah.
I like that
the
one.
word is tikva. All right, we still have hope. And I think it, yeah, you can see there, it says, Aval od lo avda tikvatenu.
לא, עדיין לא הגענו ליעד.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it does have a hopeful message, and I think it kind of gives us an insight into where Israelis are at.
What is Liyad?
Layad is to the destination.
Destination.
Oh, no, we still haven't arrived in our destination.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the other two, as negative as I think they first appear, I think is also a comment on what society values these days as a whole, maybe not just Israeli society. But I think right now, everybody, when we're looking for whether it's a house or an apartment or a condo, everybody has X, Y, and Z on their list of what they want. And I think that speaks volumes to, we all have X amount of people that we want to be living with. We all want so many rooms in our living in our housing. We all want to have X number of parking spots for however many cars we have. And I think it kind of, to me, that kind of is a wake-up call of, I just want something over my head. I just want a piece of nature. I think it's very telling of where society as a whole stands in terms of what we expect from things.
Yes, thank you, Emma. Hi, Shirley. Did you want to say something?
Hi, sorry, I had trouble with my laptop. I just managed to get in.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so disappointed. Oh my goodness.
Well, no, we're happy that you're here. Okay.
Anyway, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Anybody else want to comment on the posters we saw?
Were there, I mean, you obviously selected those, but were there any that addressed the occupation? Were there any that address the issue of Palestinians and Israelis living together?
There were, but a lot of them I felt were either too negative to share on Shabbat, to be honest, or they were just so Israeli and so germane to Israeli culture that they were not easily accessible to us. So I wanted to pick the 4 that I thought were most accessible for it, while giving a range of messages at the same time.
Hey, I like the one with the can also that I was just talking to Sonia's boyfriend who is in Israel, and he was telling me how crowded the room he's in is, and the floor is moldy, and there's no place to sleep. And I kept thinking of, that's Israel for you. So living accommodations now or then a real challenge for especially the students. So it's nice just getting off with Charlie, who's in Israel now for 4 months.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm hoping long before 2048, Cheryl and I will get a chance to get back to Israel. And if we see any of you there, that will be an extra bonus. I think some of you know, those of you who know me well, that my yearning for Israel is akin to a physical addiction. It just feels that strong. And so that's why, you know, Cheryl and I hope that when it's safe, we don't want to do anything, but that we hope that we can get back to Israel very, very soon. We speak to our Israeli friends all the time. I know that at Solel, we have those conversations with our twin congregation, Darchei Noam in Ramat HaSharon, and hopefully another one will be planned very soon. Well, we'll get to interact with our Israeli twins.
Take me.
Sherry?
No, I said, take me.
All right, we'll take you. All right. We'll get a suitcase you can fit into, okay? So there you go. All right. Any other comments before we go back to our Sidurim? Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that little display. And let's go back now. Arlene, when you said that whose boyfriend was in Israel right now?
Sonia's boyfriend, Charlie, and his brother have gone on a 4-month program, and he's just finished his 2 weeks of isolation in Israel, and he's going to be doing a course on media for 4 months. So he just joined us for my 6 o'clock Shabbat candle lighting.
When you said that you like the one with the can, and then you said that Sonia's boyfriend, I thought you were about to say Sonia's boyfriend is in the can, but no.
But he may have been drinking a can of something during Shabbat. I don't know. That's a possibility.
Indeed. So now we'll conclude this part of the demonstration, of course, as we continue our service with the prayer for the state of Israel. So once again, if I could ask yourselves, if you wish to unmute and to join me in this prayer. Sur Israel Goalo, Barech Shlachna Orcha and Redeemer of Israel, place your blessings on the state of Israel, to realize
on all your people with the word homeland. Plant the love of Zion, your light and your truth to all its inhabitants. May raise to walk over them the shelter of peace. Bestow insight upon its leaders, judges, and representatives, that they may pursue justice, freedom, and integrity. Amen. It is a blessing upon all your people, Israel, wherever we dwell. Plant the love of Zion into our hearts, that our
plant the love of Zion into our
soil. And may the vision of your prophet Isaiah soon be fulfilled. For Torah shall come forth from Zion, and God's word from Jerusalem. And let us say, Amen.
God's word from Jerusalem.
And let us all say, Amen. And now we sing together Aleinu. Well, please mute yourself for this one. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedula liotzer bereshit, asher sam chelkenu yached et shemo, vegor aleinu lahamlich malchuto, vanachnu korim, umishtachavim humodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now, as we prepare for the reading of the Kaddish, another Israeli poet by the name of Rachel, entitled A Sorrowful Song. Nelson, if you wouldn't mind opening your microphone and reading this poem for us.
Do you hear my voice, far one of mine? Do you hear my voice wherever you are? A voice calls fiercely, a voice cries silently, and above time commands blessing. This earth is much, and in it there are many paths, meeting narrowly, separating forever. The man asks, but his legs too weak. He will not find what he has lost. The last of my days is close, maybe, close as the day of farewell tears. I will wait for you until my light burns out, as Rochelle waited for her love.
During the period of Shloshim, we remember Linda Kaplan, the aunt of Rabbi Audrey Pollack and Phil Subeck and family, wife of Jeffrey Cranes, sister of Roz Pollack, and also Ed Yarmo, father of Rob and Jody and Lenny and Tammy. This coming week marks the Yortzeit of Doris Heisman, the mother of Gerald, Joyce Neto, the mother of Sherry Amar, grandmother of Adam, Nathan, and Jacob, Gangolf Herman, the father of Gavin, husband of the late Hilda, grandfather of Mark and Laura, Gertie Gerlich, the aunt of Lena Rule, Jochen Rule, the uncle of Lena Rule, Kamran Noruzi, the brother of Giti, Isabel Jill Parr, the mother of Susan Carey, Eve Davidson, the aunt of Carol Van Tyne, Sarah Davidson, the grandmother of Carol Van Tyne, Leah Rubin, the aunt of David Grossman, Lotte Rothschild, the mother of Les, grandmother of Lisa and Debbie, Tema Frankel, the mother of Mark, grandmother of Julia and Dara, and Winnie Norton, the grandmother of Dennis Norton and Susan Dean Norton, great-grandmother of Jordan. If there are any names that you wish to add, would you please open your microphone and say them aloud at this time? We join together now in sanctifying God's name. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah. Bi'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chaye chon v'yomei chon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah v'varach le'olam u'l'amei amayah. Yitbarach, 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 Amen. Yehei shlama rabba v'shamayim v'chayim aleinu v'yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al Israel v'al kol adam v'yimru amen. We're also in the period of the counting of the Omer. And so I'll ask you to join me in the bracha and the actual count for today. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitanu b'tzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Hayom esrim yom shehem shnei shavuot shisha yamim la'omer. Today is the 20th day, which is 2 weeks, day of the Omer. Now, as you can see from the background, in biblical times, counting the Omer was counting the 7 weeks between Pesach and Shavuot as the barley harvest would come ripe. And then, of course, in Shavuot, they would reap the harvest and bring the first fruits to the temple. In our time, since most of us don't live in an agricultural setting, there's another theme to counting the Omer as well, which is joining together the 2 holidays of freedom. Pesach is the festival of freedom from slavery, freedom from oppression. But true freedom has to be combined with the holiday of Shavuot, which gives us the freedom to live under God's law, with the revelation of the Ten Commandments. So combining these two holidays together as we count the Omer reminds us of these two very important aspects of freedom. And now we come to Kiddush. So if you'll join me, I'm going to raise the cup of wine, and everyone please join me as we sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher quichanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kodsho v'yahava u'ratzon imkilanu zikaron leman be'bereshit kihu yom tefillah v'mikra'e kodesh se'ere tzivat mitzrayim. Anu v'charta v'otanu tidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ya'avu ratzon Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim. And now it is my distinct honor and privilege to invite Arlene Botnick to lead us in the Motzi. Since I think we all know this blessing, we can all look at each other on screen as Arlene leads us. You're mute, Arlene.
Okay, before I do this, first of all, I want to say what a wonderful delight it's been to have this opportunity to see all of us at once back together. We have created our own Beit Tefillah. We've created our own synagogue in our homes, on screen, and it's really been very, very special. So it's wonderful to see so many of you together, although a lot of us have spoken. And I'm not sure if you can see, I've got my beautiful challah cover and whatever. And let's do the Camp George one, because I like that one. So if you know it, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avo. A wonderful Shabbos to everybody.
Thank
Stay
you,
healthy.
Arlene. You know, you've probably all seen those choral arrangements where a lot of faces come on the screen at the same time and sing in harmony. Jeff Gooderham actually has become an expert in that and has done a lot of them. They're beautiful. I think I'm venturing to say that we're not quite ready for that yet, are we? But we'll get there someday. Okay. In the meantime, we conclude our service and then we'll all be able to go to our Shabbat meals and enjoy ourselves. But once again, it being Yom Ha'atzmaut, we're going to conclude this evening with Hatikva. If I could ask you to please mute for this, but while you're muted, please sing with me. Kol od balevav penima nefesh Yehudi hobiha. Fateh Mizrach Kadima Chaim letzkion Sophia. Od lo afta tikvateinu, hatikva bat shnot ha'payim, liyotam chofshi be'artzeinu eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. Liyotam chofshi be'artzeinu eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. And before we leave, let's have a chance for all of us to say Shabbat Shalom to each other and wish everyone well. For those of you who want to join us, we're doing this again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock for our Shabbat morning service, and you can find the Zoom link on the Solel, in the Solel Shamus, and on the announcements as well. So just stick around and let's say Shabbat Shalom to each other.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Be with you.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was nice.
That was really good.
Rabbi.
Such a
Yes,
thrill to see you.
very good. Thank you and for
Thank you.
inviting us.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Rabbi Englander, you're letting your hair grow.
Oh, you noticed.
We all are.
Like the rest
I
of
know.
us.
I have to keep blowing it out of my eyes. Yeah.
We'll loan you some. We'll loan you some.
Thanks.
Who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
So what's everybody having for dinner?
Chicken.
Naturally.
Salmon.
Naturally.
Pizza.
No.
I had leftover pizza. What can I tell you?
Chicken.
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 Yeah,
Yes.
chicken seems to be the staple here. Okay, good.
Larry mentioned that Jeff is, a techie with doing some video editing, but I didn't know Linda. I had met some of you with Rabbi Dogan when we did the Hartman program. And so I feel like I know quite a few of you or some of you, but Linda, Jared, you're in the choir with Larry and him and Judy.
I used to be, right.
Not anymore?
Right. Sorry?
Not anymore?
I don't think there's been much choir singing in the last year.
Oh, yeah, they're keeping on there every Thursday.
Virtually.
Yeah, so we hope to come back, Linda.
It's not as far to drive, Linda.
That's right. Jeff, Jeff, are you actually putting the voices together?
For Temple Sinai.
For Temple Sinai. So in order to do that.
David Gershon